Greetings from Dr. Caarne White, also known as Caarne by Grace. Today, during this session, we're going to tell you a little bit about therapeutic art. Therapeutic art is an opportunity to express yourself. It's not art therapy. As a certified Christian therapist and a certified school counselor, I use art as a part of the therapeutic process with my students and clients. Today, we're going to be creating what I like to call Bob Ross trees. Bob Ross was a painter from the 70s and 80s who painted majestic landscapes and allowed for people to express themselves. And what I love about it was that it was so freeform that when you got done with it, even if it was a little messy, it was something that was produced by you. So I'm going to take you through a short color therapeutic process just to put something on the canvas and release whatever is going on in your life. First, I'd like for you to think about a problem or a challenge that you have in your life. Believe it or not, most things are not problems. Most things are challenges. And at the point that therapy is an option for you, it is because of three things. Number one, you've identified a problem. Number two, you're willing to talk about that problem. And number three, you're willing to do something about it. So when you enter that therapeutic moment, like we're going to do tonight, I want you to think about what is that one thing or what is something that you'd like to see changed or at least addressed in your life. Now that you have that in mind, I want you to put a little yellow on your brush. Make sure you wash off the brush between colors or else they mix together. So after you wet your brush and put a little bit of yellow on your brush, you're going to want to just put a yellow circle right there in the middle. Once you put that yellow circle in the middle, it's going to symbolize light, right? All of us need light to guide us when we're going down another path, when we're trying to make a different decision in life. You're going to put that circle right in the center of the painting. If you need an example, look at the one on the table. That bright yellow in the center symbolizes just light, something that's guiding you, some little piece or glimmer of hope you have in that challenge that you're thinking about tonight. There's always promise. And there's always a chance to make things better. As you finish up the yellow, I want you to begin to think about, as you process, what is that glimmer of light I have? Around that glimmer of light, please put a little bit of green. Green symbolizes growth, opportunity, increase. If there's a glimmer of light in your life, it needs to be surrounded by hope of opportunity, increase, wealth, abundance, whatever is next for the next stage in life for you. And you're just going to put that right around the yellow. Put that green right around the yellow. Make sure you clean off your brush between colors. Okay, and even if they mix together, that's okay, but we just want to be able to identify the individual colors. The next color is going to be blue, and you're going to put that right around the whole canvas except at the very bottom. So again, a circle all around the canvas, just like you see it on the example canvas on the table. That blue represents sky. Sky's the limit for whatever you want in your life. I know that things can be challenging at times. Sometimes problems can seem so much bigger than anything we can put our hands around. But there is no limit to what you can achieve. Even this challenge, this problem that you have in mind, I want you to be able to see past it. Not just the increase, not just the light, but if you could have sky's the limit, if you could have anything you wanted, what would that look like? How would this problem be worked out? Put that blue all the way around, even to the edge of the canvas, except the very bottom. We're going to leave for one more area of green. What I love about the bottom, make sure you clear your brush before you do the bottom in green. What I love about the bottom of the canvas is it represents growth, change. It's going to be where our Bob Ross trees are going to grow from, right? And as you can see on this canvas, it's a little messy, but looking at it from afar, it reminds me of a majestic place, a place where I'd like to meditate and be and think and just breathe in nature. It reminds me a lot of the path that I walk every day. Put that green down there. Just like you see that green in the sky, you also see it all around you. Once again, increase in abundance is very important when it comes to the therapeutic process, because when you think about therapy or you think about wanting to change your attitude, your mentality, your mindset, or your life, you have to see it as abundant. At the point of seeing it as abundant, you can make a change. So put that green down at the bottom and just remember, all of our beautiful Bob Ross trees are going to grow from there. Once you finish with the green, make sure you clean your brush one more time, put it in the water, douse it on the paper towel, and put a little bit of the black and brown mixture together, okay? Because we want the trees to be dark, but we want to add a little brown to it, right? What you're going to do is you're going to take whichever brush you have and you're going to make single little squiggly lines, maybe 7 or 8 on each side, just like you see under that canvas. When you make those little squiggly lines, not too squiggly, they're going to be like your tree trunk, your bark. That's going to be the body of the tree. And you can make about 7 or 8 on either side. And you put some down in the grass and some down where it looks like it's in the sky. And that's okay. Because sometimes it seems like the trees are in the mist and they're also in the sky. And if you go into the mountains, you can imagine mountain trees that look like they don't even sit on the ground. Okay, so once you have your squiggly lines going down, 6 or 7 or 8 on each side, I want you to just take your brush from vertical, where you created the lines, to horizontal. And you're not going to do stripes or anything. You're just going to blot. You're going to start with a small blot at the top and just paste back and forth around that little stick. However you do it, there's no wrong answer, okay? These are your trees. These are your Bob Ross trees. So you can create them however you want. You can use the painting on the table as an example. You're going to blot, 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 blot. I hope you see your painting coming into form. All right? Now, just realize and recognize that trees are a part of our life. They represent our connection to God. They represent our connection to nature. Trees represent themselves individually and the forest. So all of those things are representative of our life. They make a difference as an analogy into who we are. And trees also produce the oxygen that we need on this earth to breathe and to be healthy and to be better. So I want you to think about that challenge once again. And as you make the branches on these trees, as you blot horizontally, blot, 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 I want you to think about all of the fruit that you're meant to bear from your increase. So a lot of times we get increase in life, but it's the fruit we bear from the increase. It's the stewardship of what's going on with us, right? The stewardship of what we've been provided. No matter how big or small, it's always enough. So this forest represents enough. Represents enough to share, enough to supply, enough fruit to bear season after season. Okay, we're going to let that dry for a second. And now we're going to create that little path. It doesn't matter where you put your path, either to the left or the right, but you definitely want to choose a side, right? And in life, there's always a side. So you can make that trail a little darker if you like. Just use the black, and you're going to start at the top with just one little stroke, and as you go down, go back and forth, and as you get towards the bottom of the canvas, you're going to make it just a little bit bigger, right? Because the path always seems bigger at the beginning, but as we get closer, it looks smaller, which is not exactly true when you drive on the road, right? You can drive on the same road, it could be the same width, but when you are viewing the road, it always looks so slender ahead. And sometimes in life, things get a little tighter, they get a little slender, they get a little more challenging. So I want you to think about that path getting a little more bigger, the closer to the bottom of the canvas. And as you look out, you should see less and less of that little pathway, of that trail. Isn't that something? To trust God, to really trust God for whatever He has for your life, that path has to get a little smaller, a little harder to see. And even if you think about clouds being at your feet, you might not be able to see your feet anymore, but you trust God, even when you can't track Him or trace Him. If you're done with your path, you can put a little touches on your canvas. You can put a little extra yellow around your trees if you want to just highlight them. You could take the black and create the little birds in the sky if you'd like. Do what you feel on your canvas. Let this be a representation of who you are. So I hope you've enjoyed this therapeutic moment, using art as a chance to have counseling, to deal with a challenge or a problem, to just increase your life, to see your life as abundant. I thank you for coming, and I pray that you grow in grace.